My name is Allison Carter. Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. No one tells on Diddy. You knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual.
Ron Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going?
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. Okay.
Allie Carter has been speaking out about Diddy, Denzel Washington, and major celebrities detailing these sick parties and scary tunnels that lead to underground cities. It looks like Allie Carter could be one step in the right direction when it comes to taking down Hollywood and those evil forces. Her videos are confirming a lot of the things that people suspect about what's going on with the elite. Allison Carter, also known as Allie, is a survivor of child trafficking and has alleged that the rapper parties were not just gatherings, but ritualistic. She adds that she herself was a victim, once present at a Diddy party as one of the party favors, which sound very disturbing, especially when you keep in mind that we're allegedly speaking about children. She even goes on to say that Denzel Washington is as bad as Diddy. Allie shares that she's surprised to see that Diddy was in fact arrested, because she claims that she's tried to get county officials involved in the past, but ultimately they ignored everything she had to say.
Child Protective Services was involved in my trafficking. I never thought that we would see the day where Diddy would get arrested, and I told you guys in that Maria Z interview in 2021 that no one tells on Diddy. Just the same way nobody tells on Denzel Washington. People don't usually talk and stop and think about the children victims that are going through things right now as we speak, and the ones who suffered through all this bullshit. You knew children were there. You knew these parties were not okay. They weren't freak-offs. They were satanic ritual. It wasn't just adults in these parties. The adults were responsible for the child that were in the party. And one of those children were me.
It's chilling to realize that Allie Carter found herself in this situation. And it's even more unnerving to think there might still be children out there, children who are victims, tangled in something like this. She cautioned other survivors and victims to be wary of speaking to authorities, which says so much about her distrust. According to Ally, these authorities might not be the allies they appear to be. They might even be complicit in taking inventory of these victims. If this goes deeper than Diddy, implicating powerful figures, they're more likely to eliminate witnesses than allow the elites to face consequences. She emphasized that she wants nothing to do with blood money, the funds used to silence or buy people's silence.
We tried to have a case with Child Protective Services. We gave them 8 months worth of evidence. They took that case and they hid it. If you are a survivor and if you are a real victim, be careful. Because these hotline numbers that they're putting out, I don't trust them. They're taking inventory.
And then they shut it down. They're taking inventory. So don't trust them. Don't trust the feds. Don't trust the judges. All y'all. You're all guilty. You're all corrupt. Any attorney that's taking money to defend Diddy,
that's blood money.
That's blood money.
That's all blood money. You do know that, right? Whether you take money from him to shut up, whether you take money from him for period, that's blood money. I don't want anybody's money.
There's a lot of graphic details that she comes board with. For example, saying that her pinky is broken. It broke at the age of 12 because there were a lot of people who had her tied up. She also does bring up Denzel Washington, and we should talk about this. Allie Carter claims that she was a minor when Diddy and Denzel harmed her at this event. According to the New York Post, Denzel screamed at Diddy before he stormed out, saying, "You don't respect anyone." Denzel and his wife Paletta had been partying until dawn with Diddy, and it looks like they had seen something and stormed out. Word on the street is that some of your favorite celebrities were longtime active participants at these events, and it looks like we're going to see plenty of PR campaigns trying to lighten the blow.
Ron Jeremy, Denzel Washington, Beyonce Knowles, Ellen DeGeneres, Whoopi Goldberg, Lady Gaga, Chrissy Teigen, John Legend, Joan Rivers, Rob Saget. Do you want me to keep going? For you to be like, oh shit, she's probably telling the truth. It is pathetic that people gotta go here. It's pathetic that it's gonna take somebody to say it was me for somebody to understand.
Meanwhile, a comedian, Brandon T. Jackson, said that Denzel advised him to always leave Hollywood parties before the devil gets there. That's pretty scary to think about.
Denzel always told me we'd be at the parties. He said, you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there. Okay? And when he would say that, I will always remember that Denzel would leave the parties early. And I follow Denzel out. I'm out. You see what I'm saying? Because when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, there's nothing wrong with going to the parties. Even Christ party with the sinners. You know what I mean? But when you leave 30 minutes for the devil get there, you know, you able to have your integrity. I meant off screen. It's not what you do on screen, what you do off screen is more important.
Now, we don't know where Allie came from. We don't necessarily know her story, but she's making a lot of crazy allegations. You just cannot even imagine that this is real. But they may be very legitimate allegations against this entire industry.
You see all the people running? They're ducking and hiding because everybody knows that there was children there. But we're still not talking about the kids yet. When are we gonna talk about the kids? Everybody's demanding something from the victims. Why aren't you demanding it from the news? You know he's about to turn into another Epstein, and then the list follows and it circles back into a web. So why isn't anybody demanding any information on the kids? Child Protective Services is your supplier.
For somebody to understand clearly, Allie is very hurt. And when you see some of these videos where she's getting tearful and talking about this, you can't help but to believe what she's saying. Because how could you be so emotional? And there was an alleged affidavit released by Allie Carter, where she goes on to describe the party favors and the truth of what happened here, naming Brian Christopher Williams Birdman, Denzel Washington, Diddy, and Jaciel Robinson. This happened at the Playboy Mansion around 2009 through 2010, when she was in foster care. The information is so salacious that we can't read even a single line here. Now, one of the reasons why I wanted to cover Allie Carter's statements, her accusations, was that she talked about these tunnels. She goes into more detail about the extravagance of it, and I want you guys to hear what she is saying because it is wild.
There's cities underground, there's warehouses underground, actual homes underground. People built these tunnels. There's a lot, and elite celebrities, they go down there for parties underneath the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. I was there for a cock party. We walked through the museum, through the garden area, and employees led us to underground tunnels. There is no way that you can just walk into a tunnel. The entrances and the exits are in your face, but there's no way that you can just walk through tunnels. You'll get stuck. The Playboy Mansions, I met some really elite people when I was there. I had to do jobs with some elite celebrities.
Allie Carter has some really scary claims, and I feel like we might have trouble sleeping tonight, but I want to hear what you guys think of this in the comments below.